The big dim stars are out. Democrat heavyweights rallying behind far-left Senate nominee Abdul El-Sayed after he won the Michigan primary last week. And he was campaigning and going around with a guy who's got that toxic stream. Even so, El-Sayed now is scrambling to distance himself from his friend, influencer Hassan Piker, who, among other toxic things, has said America deserved 9/11. El-Sayed said he spoke with former President Obama after his Michigan primary victory. He said it was a really warm and inspiring conversation. The night before his victory, El-Sayed was hanging out with Piker at the pool. Watch El-Sayed play dodgeball here.
Do you plan to continue to campaign with Hassan Piker in the general election campaign?
Look, I'm less concerned now with who I'm campaigning with, a lot more concerned about who I'm campaigning to.
Do you disavow those comments that America deserved 9/11?
Of course. Of course, it was a dumb statement. And of course, I think Hassan himself would say that was a dumb statement. He disavowed it. So yes, America didn't deserve 9/11.
Saying something is dumb does not even elevate your disavowing it to where it should be. It was cruel. It was thoughtless. And it could have been true. We still don't know. Senator John Fetterman thinks El-Sayed's ties to Piker and his anti-Israel stance could cost his party a must-hold Michigan Senate seat. Watch.
I dare you to continue to campaign with people like Hassan Piker, because he now will quickly find out it's easy to campaign in the echo chamber as a Democrat, but when you have to convince other people or people that are open to voting on either side, I think you're going to be interesting to see how he chooses to disavow or now pretend that he hasn't just said and done these things just through this entire campaign.
And as Fetterman says, just pretend. Well, here who is now backing El-Sayed: Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom, AOC, Kamala Harris. Now, notice their names are being thrown into the pile for, well, they might run for president next time. So, of course, they have to cozy up to the guy who just won Michigan. Veteran strategist, or the primary there, veteran strategist James Carville, you'll notice is not on that list.
I think that the progressive left, they're very tech people. I think they've come up with an AI random stupid idea generator. And I think the stupid idea generator can think of things that humans can't, like canceling Thanksgiving or being against interracial dating. So I'm just waiting to the next stupid idea AI generator that comes out, spits out of that.
In Focus with me now, Ben Ferguson, podcast host. Just want to get your top line thoughts.
Yeah, look, I think what you're witnessing right now is the Democrats have created a mad laboratory for Marxism, and these are the candidates that are coming out of it, and these are the ideas that are coming out of it, and the test ground for this is the battleground states in places like Michigan and Wisconsin. But let's also be very clear. This all started back when Barack Obama was president. He bottle-fed these ideas. He bottle-fed these types of candidates. He created them and brought them into the tent. And when you have these now radical Marxists and communists and socialists who have taken over the Democratic Party, this was not an accident. This is where the Democratic Party has been going for a long time. When you have people that say that America deserved 9/11, that is not an accident. They believe it. When the Democratic Socialists of America say last week in an interview, they believe that Israel doesn't have a right to exist from the river to the sea. That is what terrorists, Hamas and Hezbollah, chant and what they say. This is now the Democratic Party. They created this, and they're endorsing it. They're advocating for it. And most importantly, Harris, they're now funding it with millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Just moments ago, it was announced, and maybe it came out earlier, but now it's official that former President Barack Obama is going to have a new podcast. It's basically taking people through books that they don't have time to read. Simultaneously with getting back out there, we know he had a warm conversation, was how El-Sayed put it, together over the weekend after El-Sayed's win. What do you make of Obama in all of this? Does it matter? Does his endorsement matter?
Look, I think Obama's endorsement matters, and I think putting out there, quote, we had a warm conversation, tells you, wink, wink, nod, nod. I'm absolutely behind this guy. And it's also telling the rest of the party, you better get in line. You have one thing that's also happening while we're seeing and witnessing the growth of this extremism, and that is the former leadership of the Democratic Party, the Chuck Schumers. They are paralyzed because they don't know what to do to stop this. And they realize no one's listening to them anymore. Barack Obama is pushing it this way. The Democrats fall in line. They're looking, by the way, at 2028. Let's be clear. This is a mad scientist laboratory for who they're going to put out there in 2028. If I made a prediction today, it is AOC. It is Chuck Schumer hoping she gets a nomination so maybe he can stay in charge as a figurehead for a little bit longer. Otherwise, she's probably going to primary Chuck Schumer. She says, oh, I'm just looking at Congress right now. No, she's not. The Democratic Socialists of America are saying we're coming for the entire country. We are winning and winning often now with these types of candidates and ideas. And the message is also clear. We hate America. We think it's fundamentally flawed. We want to destroy what it is now. We hate Jews, by the way. You're not welcome either. We also believe America deserved 9/11. This is who they are. When they tell you this, believe them.
Look, you mentioned AOC. It's interesting because part of the far, far left, those Democrat socialists, they want to get, not part of it, part of their platform and the DSA platform is to get rid of the U.S. presidency. So what are you running for?
Yes.
I mean, it just sounds like a bunch of made up stuff. El-Sayed, by the way, if you're keeping score, is sticking to his support for government-run socialized health care. Watch this.
Yeah, we don't have to live like this. We have an opportunity to guarantee cradle-to-grave health care.
Would you need to increase taxes?
As I've said across this campaign, I am for taxing billionaires their wealth.
You are effectively acknowledging that people making less than $1 million could see their taxes go up. I just want to be very clear. Is that a yes?
I'm saying that we'd be paying for health care in a different way.
He doesn't know the answer to that question. I mean, come on. The slogans sound great, but we know nothing is really free. And also, even if you tax the blank out of the billionaires, like that one far left socialist said, it's still not going to be enough to cover this. Government-run socialized health care would mean a massive new tax burden on just about everybody. Estimates put the increase from $1.5 trillion to more than $4 trillion, taking the middle ground of those estimates equates to roughly 15 to 21,000 per tax return every year. Nationalized health care would also reduce employer contributions and take away choices for family. Remember that stuff that Obama's camp used to say, you can keep your doctor. No, you can't. You absolutely can't, because you can't afford for everybody to keep their doctor under their plan.
Yeah, this is the largest tax increase we've ever seen in the history of this country that's being proposed now by these socialists. But this is about control. And if you can then take away everything, this is the same party, let's be clear, that says if you've got a really nice house, we don't think you should be able to have it. New York is dealing with this right now.
Yep.
If you have a lot of money, we want to take not some of it, Harris, we want to take all of it from you. And we want to take your doctor from you. We want to take your plan from you. We want to take private health care away. You are going to live under our Marxist rule. This is Marxism. It is here. It is the Democratic Party. I said this on your show a couple years ago. I believe the Democratic Party is dead. I believe it's been taken over and they lied to the voters. They say, oh no, we're Democrats, because they didn't think America could handle the word Marxist or communist. But now it's in your face. They're telling you they're going to take your money, they're going to take your businesses, they're going to take your homes, and they're going to tell you that that this country is a disaster, so therefore we have to remake it. This is why Democrats like James Carville are terrified. Or as another one put it this way, we quote, we're in mortal danger. I wrote it down. There was a Democratic strategist that said right now the Democratic Party is in mortal danger. Why? Because they understand their party is dead. They are now